I think they're both really, obviously Ohio State, I think, will be very good again. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Julian Sayin, redshirt freshman who started at Alabama, transferred after Nick Saban retired, will probably be their starting quarterback. But these programs are here for the stay, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Ohio State loses a ton, obviously, of all the guys that they kept around. But they also bring back, for my money, probably the best offensive player and the best defensive player in the country in Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs. It's a pretty good place to start. And as we know, they always have quality talent on hand there to fill in for some of the people that are leaving.
Caleb Downs can't go pro?
No, it's his second year. He's a true sophomore. Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith, right?
Yeah. Gosh,
two players that probably would be the first round picks, maybe top 10 picks or something. And they're going to be going back to college, one of them for 2 more years. It's just hard to believe that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe not Caleb for 2, but yeah. Jeremiah, he needs to file a lawsuit. Everyone else is sticking around, right? They want to stay 9 years. Jeremiah's like, get me out of here.
Yeah. Well, Ohio State in the new rev share world, Dan, we actually saw Ryan Day during his press conference. I thought it was pretty fascinating. He brought up the number. I don't think he said 20 million for their roster, but he hinted it. He danced around it and then basically said, look, our players are that valuable. They're worth that in the city of Columbus and at Ohio State, almost setting it up, right, for the true NIL world, for them to go above the cap in the new rev share world and get true NIL. It was actually a pretty fascinating quote he said. And afterward, I talked to Ross Bjork about the investment in the program and how much, they invested and spent. And one of his quotes was about the number, the $20 million number for the roster. You can have all the money, all the collectives you want, but if you don't have a foundation of leadership and culture and chemistry, then it's not going to matter. We've seen programs spend a lot of money, some even more than us, and they didn't reach this point. Of course, everybody probably is aware that he was at one of those programs. He was the AD at Texas A&M, and they probably spent more than anybody in the first year of NIL, and we all know how that ended.
Yeah, that didn't pan out. Sliced bread? Yeah, his reporting on that.
Bro Sliced, Bible, Dan. Yes,
Bro Bible from
Sliced
Bro Bible.
Bread posting on Bro Bible, I think it was.
Yeah. He said he was saying, you can say whatever you want. People talked a lot about how much money guys are making in NIL and different things like that. That was just because NIL was available. Majority of our team came back. These guys have been here a long time. And it's no doubt they paid those guys to come back, and that's great. They also paid Jeremiah Smith to come.
Yeah.
And then certainly Will was a huge addition. Yeah, I think so. That'd be Will Howard. Caleb was a huge addition. Don't get me wrong. Yep. Mm-hmm. But when you hear that number, that doesn't mean a whole lot other than the fact that the market value for our guys in Columbus at Ohio State is pretty high. That's what it means. When that got tagged on us early, there was a lot of pressure put on our players. So the pressure of being rich. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. It's the pressure I feel trying to hawk these footballs.
Yeah.
Commemorative footballs.
We need a sales update.
I got haters like you guys trying to tear me and Urban Meyer down. We're just trying to help out with a little commerce here.
I need to know how the sales are going. We need like real time.
Better get in now because there's only 10,000 limited edition, Pat.
Only 10,000.
Yes, limited edition.
But how many are using your promo code versus Urban's promo code?
I'm crushing Urban. Come on, kidding me? I don't know.
I'm sure the NIL payments to each of them reflect that.
Football 25 is the promo code I was going. I don't know what Urban says. I got to check. It's all right. Me and Urban teammates moving commemorative footballs here. I did find that interesting too. First off, it was like, our guys are gonna make a lot of money. And this is the part of we talk about, like, Ohio State they got this huge school. I looked it up. It's 67,000 people, kids going there. Massive thing. Columbus, Ohio, 2.2 million people live in the metro area. They don't have an NFL team. They have a hockey team. That's it. Like, this is the team. Indianapolis isn't as big as Columbus, Ohio. A lot of places aren't as big as Columbus, Ohio. They have NFL teams. They have multiple pro sports teams. This is it for Columbus. And besides the rest of the state. So whatever it's going to cost going forward, Ohio State's going to set that standard. Like, they're not going to blink. Certainly there's some other wealthy places and wealthy schools out there, but what do they call it? What do your guys like to say? Alignment, Ross? That's a big one, right?
Alignment.
Alignment, yeah, with the president and the AD and the coach. I think Ohio State would say it's got alignment, very much so. In fact, they said that multiple times to me when I visited there. We talked about that story I wrote maybe 2.5 weeks ago or so about the above the cap NIL, and Ohio State was at the center of that story, because they potentially have, them in Texas probably have the ability, because of the alumni base, because of the brand, because of the city where they are, as Dan just went through all the points there. Their alumni base, I think it's like the 5th or 6th biggest in the country, 700,000 or something living alumni. That they've got millions in what they say is real NIL. So they've got the ability to do that. In fact, during the game, I got a text from another athletic director, and it was about how talented Ohio State was, of course. Wow, they're loaded, right? He texted me. And then he said, well, they'll have to take a pay cut next year in the revenue share world. And then I let him know. I let him know that they will not be taking a pay cut, that they have enough probably brand value in the community there that they will be able to go and strike real deals with athletes and probably get it through the clearinghouse. And I think Ryan Day was setting that up with his quote. And it just struck me. Pat and I are sitting there next to each other in the news conference and kind of looked up, jolted by him talking about
so
that.
Just to be clear, like, technically you're not supposed to give this NIL money. And next year with the rev share, there's going to be how good the NCAA is at investigating these things, at payments. They've done a great job cutting that out when you couldn't get anything. They're gonna be able to say fake NIL payment, opposed to like real services provided, like me and my commemorative footballs of the championship season. That's real service. But because Ohio State's so popular, they're going to be able to throw that money out there, and they're in a big market. So who are you to say? The car dealerships, the Ford dealerships of Central Ohio. Well, that's a little more than the Ford dealer in Starkville. They got it. So yeah, they're going to put Deloitte on skates here.
Yeah, Deloitte. Yeah. In charge of the clearinghouse, has to clear all these, any deal that's affiliated with a booster or affiliated with a school, an entity in some way, has to go through the clearinghouse. Should be.
I can see Jeremiah Smith getting like real Nike money, like real commercials and stuff.
Jeremiah Smith
why not?
Is probably, I'm gonna say, would be able to be in line
cover.
For well over $1 million in NIL next year. And maybe even over $2 million.
Oh, he's going to Caitlin Clark levels practically. Yeah, he's going to be
$2-3 million. Yeah, I would absolutely.
He's the way he carries himself.
It depends on how much he wants to kind of work at it, though, right? Because a lot of this is, hey, show up for this autograph session, do this commercial, do these tweets. So you got to be able to do some of this stuff. And, that's one of the things.
Tell it to me, brother. I'm living it right now with this.
Here we go. Hey, Pat, if he brings this damn football up one more time, I say we end the pod. It's 3:30 a.m., damn it.
We are close to ending the podcast here unilaterally.
Commerce does not end.